All right. Another great show here. Feeney Talks with Friends. My name is Eric Feeney, founder and president of the nonprofit Friends of Feeney. Our mission is to help children and families that have heartbreak or tragedy. I use this avenue to talk to wonderful people in our community doing great things. And thanks to my buddy Dave at Direct Line Media for making it all possible. Episode 23, the Michael Jordan of insurance, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up for Ryan Keating.
What's going on, podcast loyal listeners of Feeney World and maybe people that are fans of me in one way or another. Definitely, the Michael Jordan of insurance. I'll take that. I'll take that all day.
Number 23.
Make shots from anywhere.
Are you?
We were just kind of talking before jumping on how Eric was a guest on my podcast Experience We Have podcast October 2019.
Yeah.
And here we are.
I think that was my first podcast experience.
Yeah.
And I want to thank you for that. That was an amazing time. You got the word out about our Makerspace event at Elmwood Community Center. Doug Rankin and his wife Ann text me right away. They're like, "Oh, you need boxes? Come to my house. We have so many boxes." I'm like, "How do you know?" "Well, we heard you on the WeHa Experience podcast." So you definitely helped get the word out. It was a fun time. A lot of guests we double up. Anissa, you've had on. Matt Whitney.
Well, I think that says a lot for the community around us here. I like your slogan, tagline, wonderful people doing great things.
All right, cool, thanks.
Direct to the point. And
when you say West Hartford or you say community or sponsoring, the Keating Agency is there for a lot of events. And I mean, do you want to get into that? How did that start?
This is your show.
Yeah. So, let's go to 23. Are you a Jordan or LeBron guy?
Oh, Jordan.
Okay,
Yeah,
good. All right, because I'm a Jordan guy. Our last podcast, number 22. Are you a Ty, Andy, or Scott guy? You know Ty from the JCC?
No.
Baller? Scott? Anyway, they're ballers from the JCC. You're going to play with them soon. They were on talking JCC hoop, pickup hoop. You're over 30. You're a man. You got to get in the over 30 men's league Wednesday night next season. They do jerseys, team captains, scoreboard. So
Is that the one that has the draft?
the draft. Oh yeah, Eric
When
Brown.
Eric was saying,
Seth Brown, his captain.
Yeah.
His brother is a captain. I played with Seth Brown.
yeah.
When the season got canceled last year because of COVID, I was on Seth Brown's team, and we were going to win it all. You heard it here first, Seth Brown.
Throwing it out there.
Yeah.
I like
But
it.
no, your organization is great. Your company, excuse me. It's been a family business for 50 years.
Yep.
Same spot on Apahoe Road, or no?
No, so we've always been in West Hartford Center. My grandfather wanted to be in the center, and when people asked where your office was, West Hartford Center. So
Nice.
originally, office was on Brace Road,
Okay.
was the first office, and then moved over to North Main Street. And then in 1992, my grandfather bought the Apahoe building where we are now. And so what, that's going on 30 years? No. Yeah. 2022.
So when did you know you were going into insurance?
I'm 33. We've been in that building for 30 years. So, we used to, as a kid, we'd go in the office, and my grandma, grandfather, my aunt worked there. And they'd give us like an elastic with a magnet on it, because all the paper and you'd be popping off. Damn, I haven't done it in a while.
The newspaper? I rolled
No, the
newspapers with
clips,
rubber bands.
like when you
Stamper? Rubber
not
stamper?
a stamp, the metal clip that goes into the corner of a piece of paper to put staple.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Staple.
Staple,
Whoa.
yeah.
Yup, Staple.
Yeah, there used, Staples was a store. It still is a store, I guess. But
Gotcha.
Their traffic's not as frequent as it used to be.
Nice.
So we'd go around the office with the magnet in the desk and pick up all the loose staples from when you popped off all the mail.
That's fun.
Everything comes now email based and it's digital. So the last time I've had to pop off a staple, it's been a while.
As a second grade teacher, we staple everything almost every day. So that's funny. Staple. And then Do you have the little alligator-looking thing to pluck the staples out?
Yep. Yeah, so that's what we got to use as a kid.
Yeah.
They'd be like, hey, here's this stack, pop them out, and then you get the magnet
Yeah.
with the elastic to go pick them up.
That's great.
Which also, I remember as a kid, elementary school or so, we had a meteor shower, and we went outside with a magnet and, like, in the grass or around the playscape, you would pick up little like meteor fiber carpet, which was pretty interesting. But yeah, born into insurance, so it was always around. And then the idea was there. Back in 2009 or so, I got involved with my dad and my aunt, working with them. And I'd been down in Tampa, up in Maine, and being in your young 20s in West Hartford, I kind of was like, if I don't leave now, I'm never going to leave.
Yeah.
So I left for San Diego. I did San Diego for 2.5 years, the Bay Area, ski season in Utah, summer in Montana, then ended up in Dallas for 3 years, got into the insurance space there. Woman I met at the ski lodge owned a benefits, health insurance, employee benefit company.
Yep.
And she asked me, she's like, what do you want to do in life for this? I'm like, I don't know, sell insurance. And she's like, well, come work for me at my cherry orchard in Montana, and maybe you can see what I do in our space of insurance. And that all worked out really well. Went down to Dallas and loved Dallas. Spent about a year, a little over, working with her. She was a great mentor. But her business model had 12 clients, been clients for 20, 30 years. She thought she wanted to sell her business. We looked at some opportunities there, and then she just figured she'd let it ride. And from there, I got into a contracting job, moving a company from Atlanta to Dallas. And then I also started my own event and entertainment business called Bus to Gate, doing tailgates for Cowboys games.
Ooh.
And learned a lot with that, raised money from people. Dax Prescott got hurt, had a lot of contracts that were signed. And the fan base of the Cowboys was pretty fickle. So kind of went big, too fast in ways. You can't predict injuries. But from there, got back into insurance and the employee benefit space a bit. And after a couple months, I realized that company was not a good long-term fit. I didn't see myself as a happy future, per se. And so I started looking at other opportunities and talking to my dad and looking and really analyzing coming back to Connecticut on the table of working and growing the family business side of things, third generation and whatnot. So August this year will be 5 years back.
Oh, nice. I'm trying to get a sports analogy. Are you like the Griffey Sr., Griffey Jr.? Are you the more Del Curry, Steph Curry, Seth Curry? Like, what's the lineage?
Of the family lineage of sports.
Or Aaron Boone, Matt Boone, and Brett Boone? Is that Grandpa? You got the sports knowledge.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. My grandfather.
Bobby Bonds, Barry Bonds.
Who's the third? What third generation?
I know, I gotta think of someone.
Well, the Fielders might be a good example. So, Cecil Fielder had a great career. Prince Fielder had a great career that was kind of cut short by injuries. My dad, his selling and building the business abilities got cut short by having to maintain it. And then Prince Fielder's son I was reading an article, like one of the top high school prospects, hitting crazy amounts of home runs, and people are talking about him being a potential top overall draft pick out of high school.
Perfect. That's the one.
And another crazy stat in that article mentions Cecil Fielder and Prince Fielder both ended their career at the same amount of home runs.
Yeah, that was crazy. I knew that one. That was weird.
So I think that's kind of fitting. Like my grandfather grew our agent to a certain point, and my dad's pretty much about doubled the agency size from there. And I don't know, I want to quadruple it plus.
Nice.
No.
Yeah, and back to the sponsoring. I mean, even here, Jill Lewis, Life on the Mountain magazine, Keating Insurance. Your full coverage does not always mean full protection. But you're pretty much side of buses. You're at the girls softball. I can name a bunch. You know them more than I, but I see it everywhere. And I think it's amazing, and that shows that you're community-oriented. You are in the center. You are giving back, and that is what this show is all about. That's what Be a Good Friend is all about, and I think you guys definitely have lived by that mantra. I mean, you do work, but then you also give back and sponsor.
Yeah, well, I'd
support.
say with that too. So I mean, growing up in the community, my dad, my aunts, they went through all the public schools in West Hartford. My brother, sister, and I, same thing. So we have a lot of friends, clients, and people that are in the community. So it's all kind of like you're collectively in it together in ways. I mean, we wouldn't be surviving as a business without the support of community members. So then being able to give that back how we can, it's definitely, you know,
My neighbor.
Love to be able to sponsor everything and give them, but it's hard too. And controlling some of the insurance things that are happening on our end, premiums going down, commissions going down. So the predictive income is somewhat fluctuable, variable too. And
Gotcha.
Carriers used to give a lot more money as well to help the independent agents support the community too. So now it comes more out of our pocket versus the carrier partners that say, hey, here's $2,500, $5,000 that they would help put towards different community stuff too. So
Wow.
there's some legacy stuff that we've been a part of for a while that wasn't fully on our balance sheet, but then we've kept some of it too, so that adds a little
Wow.
but I think getting involved is important. You have to.
Yeah. Commend you for that. It's awesome. And you volunteered your time at a Donut Crazy event. I don't know if you were signed on to be a celeb server, but then you weren't feeling well, but you did attend with Agent. And
I remember that. I don't know if that was I wasn't feeling well. It was more just like hanging out, being by. I think I actually had to golf or something
or the dog.
that I had to forget exactly what it was.
Maybe you didn't want to come.
But I was told
Dog. And
that
speaking of which,
yeah, we got the dog
special
in the
guest
office,
here.
the PR dog. I mean, he even was a charity event where the people's puppy. There was a whole bracket of names, and every person that suggested a name, we donated $1 to different animal shelters and organizations. And for everyone that voted, we did a March Madness bracket.
For his name?
Yeah, so we had 4 different.
Dave, can you see Agent right now?
I'm getting the top of his head.
You want to lift him up a little bit?
Come up here.
Agent up.
There you go. Oh, there's the dog. He's like, I'm not budging. All this camera, all the.
Here, we're going to. You got it? A little manual. You want me to do it?
You do it, yeah, you do it.
I'm going to go down. Oh, there he is.
There's the pup.
Agent.
Yeah, so we did a whole bracket of names,
We're going to go back to Ryan.
and
So
ended
it's only
up.
podcast. I'm not the cameraman.
Yeah, so I ended up getting him the week before Easter, and so that 2-month buildup while the puppies are still like growing before you can bring them home coincided well with March Madness, and I think we ended up having over like 1,200 people participate. So his name, the final 2 were Shamrock versus Barkley von Wolfenhauser, and I didn't sway the voting. Shamrock won, so I named him Shamrock von Wolfenhauser. And then because he's the insurance dog, so he's Agent Shamrock, and an agent is kind of
Oh, cool.
stuck as his nickname name.
Oh, I love it. No, this guy has 690 followers on Instagram. Agent Shamrock.
Yes. So Agent's Adventures, he does have his own Instagram page,
Yeah, check it out.
which I basically look at that as it's just a one-stop photo album.
Got the slow-mo drying off the water.
There's things you can do on a cell phone. I mean,
Right.
these cameras can do thousands times better. But for a casual phone video photographer,
Yeah.
some pretty cool stuff that gets out of there.
Well, yeah, thank you for bringing him. Here is a doggy bandana. Agent, this is for you. Be a good friend. Here.
Did you hear Doggy? He's like,
Good boy. Here. Let's put this on.
he's like Doggy.
We'll let Dad, Ryan,
We'll do
put
that
on
later. Yeah.
later.
We'll do that.
Thank you for coming. He's a wonderful dog. This is our second dog on the show. We had my friend Joel bring his seeing eye dog, guide dog. My friend Steve bring his seeing eye dog Joel.
Right.
So check it out, episode 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9. Steve, wonderful guest. He works blind advocate manager for Oak Hill School of the Blind. So yeah, check out Joel and Steve. But Agent. Good
You
guy.
got, you got
agent.
American School for the Deaf in town too. That'd be a good organization to get on.
Yeah.
They've been
My neighbor Wade is going to come on. He retired from there. So, and his wife and his daughter, Jenny, is going to do the hand sign language for him. But we've hung out. Matt Dix was on your show.
Yep.
Matt Dix is a guest here and a coworker and a golfer. He had to speak up. He does storytelling, and he collaborated and did a hearing impaired storytelling. And I went with Wade, and we drove in the car together. We talked the whole time. He can read lips like perfect. So, and he enunciates and talks well. And it was just great hanging out with Wade. He, a wonderful neighbor. His wife is also deaf, and all three of their children know sign language. But it was a great event to have a speak up event. They swapped to one. A hearing impaired person told the story, and the guest spoke it, and then the other way around, where a lot of people were signing, and then they had someone they paid from far away that was typing it on a screen. They get paid to type super fast. There's a name for it, but
and then you get the audio
Yep.
in the ear.
yeah, no, great event. Wade, yeah. So do you do anything with the American School of the Deaf?
No, when we did our podcast, though, we would transcribe a couple of them here, and usually whenever it was asked for, there were a couple of people who would reach out, hey,
Yeah,
can't read it, can you get it transcribed for the ADA compliance, which
Yeah.
now actually I think pretty much all websites have to have an ADA compliance.
Yeah, I think
feature to
YouTube is
them.
just a quick little button, which
Yeah.
is great, and that's how it should be. But Apahoe Road, 10 Apahoe Road. Check out Ryan, Maureen, and Mike, Big Mike.
Big Mike Mora.
Mike, Mora.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah,
Mora.
Mora. So yeah, my sister Mora, it's my dad's sister and I, and then we got a team, a couple of people that work remotely, Simsbury, Burlington, and Southington. So
And it's 860-521-1420. Check them out.
KeatingAgency.com.
Keating.
Which, when this releases, we'll have a new website up. So
Oh, speaking of which, I went to your website. Pretty cool. I'm just searching. You got a blog. You got cool pictures. Peter pops in. Hey, hello. Are you there? Peter, you need anything?
yeah.
How'd you get that? What's that about? Is that going to still be there in the new feature?
So we're looking at, so we have two, and that was part of the thing when, my dad tried to be modernized and put on the Facebook Messenger chat, and then put on this one as well that it is a live person, and it's a company that when someone responds or talks to it, it triggers.
Okay.
And we get mixed.
It had a picture
With it.
of Peter, too. And I'm like, does Peter really look
Yeah,
like
because
this?
they'll jump on a call with you. They'll take everything. You can get the basic information, and is it urgent? Is it this? Is it?
No, that's great.
The new website should have a little bit more self-service options too, or buying a car, changing this, that you could kind of send us that info, get a new ID card, or the prospective client side of things. Usually a phone call is good.
Yeah, you do auto, home, life, and business.
Yep.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And then I would like to thank you again. You do the directors and officers insurance and liability insurance for the nonprofit. It was based on a suggestion you saw Can Drive, and you're like, I think you need make sure you have insurance, right?
Yeah. We'll have the liability side of things too.
Yeah. And you went in a couple scenarios, and I was like, you know what? That's a wonderful idea.
Yeah.
And so glad that you reached out and gave that suggestion, and now it's working well. I feel a little more comfortable at Can Drives, but it's a good state of mind and safe.
Has
and
that been
covered.
one of the better events? So you're doing those, every 2 months or so now?
Yeah, we skipped April. It was busy on the weekends, and I had people emailing and texting, hey, I got all these cans. We need to do a Can Drive. We tried a May Sunday. It worked out all right.
Yeah.
Though as the weather gets better, we're selling more swag, which is good.
Yeah.
And collaborating with Gastro Park and some of the food trucks, and they're giving back a more percentage based on their sales too, so we get a little fund there. So it's a good operation. Matt Whitney, the guy that does brown bagging it, donates his box truck, so I save money there. The Chet right down the street, the West Hartford Redemption Center, opens up and stays there a little later, so we could just go dump it.
Yeah.
So it's working out.
Yeah. When we stopped by, the truck was probably 3/4 full of
Yeah.
donations. Those.
Yeah, pretty cool operation. They just come by, throw it in. So when it does happen, come by. Oh yeah, right down the street, Smash Avenue.
Yep.
You're a celeb. You're like, did you get paid for that commercial? You got to check out Smash Avenue.
Yep. Yes. Technically, I'm a gift card paid actor.
Oh yeah. All right.
That was a fun experience there.
Smash Avenue. Yeah, you had a
Get to
mullet
go
and a
break
headband.
stuff. Yeah. Leather jacket, batting gloves on or whatever.
How'd you work that out?
They asked
Nice.
if I had a good
Smash Avenue or the guy who
beard going. Jeff Lewis, Jill's husband, actually, his company does commercial production.
Oh, cool.
And video stuff. So he had asked me because my beard was looking pretty good and had seen my mutton chop
Yeah.
picture before, and then I was like, I got this headband mullet. They were like, bring it. So
What'd you smash? It's like CD case, a bottle.
So what ended up in the commercial was the CD cases, so like a baseball bat, stacked them up, and actually they were pretty fun to break. Like hit them on the sides, smash them down. I did then break just for fun while I was there on my own camera, slow motion, that glass bottle with all the color sand.
I saw that one. Yep.
Colored sand that was fun against the wall. And there was something else that was like took a solid hammer. Oh, cell phones, old cell phones, and like some old iPods that were just the big brick. So like sledgehammered those was pretty good.
And when we first met, you were doing celebrity bartending at Park and Oak. Will you be willing to do that again?
Oh, absolutely.
All right, because
Yeah,
Friends of Feeney, we're getting these silicone cups that'll say "Be a good friend" on them, kind of like their symbol. Where's my? Like the desk notepad that we just got. Thank you, Cricket. Dom at Cricket is phenomenal.
Dom
so
and Greg.
It's going to be opposite. It's going to be a green cup, white. Be a good friend.
Yep.
And if you buy the cup, you'll get a drink. There'll be celebrity servers. Ryan's going to be a celeb. Dave's definitely a celeb. So, yeah. No, I was hoping you'd.
Yeah, those
join
are a
on for
blast.
those.
I mean, it's fun to hang out, socialize. I worked in the restaurants for a long time, and that was always an enjoyable side to get.
One of my students' moms reaching out to like butchers and bakers, Plan B, and then Tate at Gastro Park said he would already do it.
Yeah, the Local 8 restaurant group.
Local 8.
Yeah, they had the butchers and bakers and Plan Bs.
Oh, they're
And
together.
Kazan, yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, I wouldn't mind. I'm going to reach out to Rockledge and Beachland, my home.
Yeah, it might be tough for them with the like allowing, unless you're like just pouring a beer or this or that, but
They're hanging out.
some of it. The Rockledge probably would be a no-go. Beachland maybe a little more flexible for Chip, but because the town owns Rockledge, so you'd have to
Yep.
work some stuff there and whatnot. But there's a lot of great spots in town, so
True. It'll be going
there'll
on.
be no shortage of opportunity.
We'll just have celebrity servers every other weekend. Right, agent?
Yeah.
Yeah, I named my dog Barkley for Charles Barkley. Speaking of hoop, yeah, you like basketball.
Yeah.
We're going to get hoop going.
playoffs going on now. Hockey playoffs have been actually really good too.
Yep.
So we got some nice Bruins, Celtics still going on.
And it's really cool that I have a collection of cards. How's the baseball kit? How's the cardboard stock going?
The cardboard stock, the cardboard gold is good.
Yeah.
It took over, it still is taking over my living room right now. So the bachelor pad is like the card shop I always wanted.
Yes.
Definitely and I've been getting to a good level. I picked up a card show I do every month now in Granby last Sunday of every month. So that's been a good outlet for.
So I play a game.
move in.
You ready for a game? Mad
Yeah.
Dick's storytelling. Best, worst, first, last. Your best baseball card, your worst baseball card, your first one, and your last one. You can take a minute and answer any way you want. I know you're a collector.
Well, so baseball in general is all the sports cards.
all
And,
your
like,
cards, yeah. We'll
I'm
go
trying to
sports
think-
cards.
The best for me, and it's one I pulled as a kid that I've, kind of enshrined it basically, is Sidney Crosby autographed rookie card.
Ooh. Are you a Penguins fan?
Whalers for life.
Oh, yeah. NHL 94. You ever play
on
NHL
Sega? Yeah.
for Sega? Is it not the best game ever
It
made?
is, it is the
Can
best
you go
game.
on record saying that's the best game?
That's the best game out there. For
Okay.
all sports games,
Yeah.
NHL 94.
And you
loop
have the
around net,
bachelor
you can
pad.
shoot.
I have the Sega and the NHL 94. Can I bring it over someday and we could just play?
That'd be
Can we
great.
live stream it?
We could-
Twitch it? Facebook
Yeah,
Live it?
we can make an NFT out of it.
Ooh, I like it. I went out and got the game. It was that good. I bought it again. It'd be just there's an NHL 94 Twitter page. Amazing stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe we should run a little tournament at one of these locations in the center, and
Yeah, we
have
could,
a NHL 94 March Madness
We could do a bracket. Yeah.
bracket. I'm the Penguins, so I've been a Penguins fan because of that game.
Well, you got Yager Lemieux,
Yep.
Kevin
Kevin Stevens.
Stevens, Ron Francis probably still there.
So you would have to sub him off the bench for Kevin Stevens. Ulf Samuelsson was a wheeler.
And then like Tom Barrasso was probably
The goalie.
Penguins goalie. 94 Red Wings got to be pretty solid.
Yep, Sergio.
Sergei Fedorov, Osgood.
So one of my best friends was the Bruins, Oates. We call Don Sweeney the death dealer. Don the death dealer because he could check.
Yeah. Devils would be good with Scott Stevens, Brodeur. I don't know if Elias might be too early for Elias.
I think he was there. Chris Elias?
Patrick Elias. And then the Nordiques, well, Patrick Waugh would probably still be on the Canadians. Nordiques would have been.
Jeremy Roenick was pretty good for the Blackhawks.
Yeah. And
Modine was pretty good for the Stars.
Hasek might have still been a Blackhawk then before he went to Buffalo.
Yeah. So all my hockey knowledge is from
NHL
94.
94, yeah.
All of it. And I love it. And I had
the
it.
early 90s had a lot of good talent of young guys. Pavel Bure,
Oh, yep.
Theo Fleury. Yeah, some good goal scorers out there.
And then you mentioned the go across the goalie move. You
Yep.
just hold it to the goalie slid and then
Shoot.
just doop. Yeah, I was a big one-timer guy.
Yeah, or you come behind the net, you
Oh, yeah,
get a move.
same thing, he'll
yeah,
get
if you don't
stuck.
get hit, yeah.
One-timer
But,
all the way.
Back the best first. So the best would be
Yeah.
that Crosby auto rookie.
That's pretty cool.
My worst card, the one that I probably just threw in the trash the other day. But ironically, so I've been buying sets off or collections off people and stuff, and it's funny to see some of the, there was a huge stack of Andre Ware cards this guy had. Top
Yep.
prospect, drop. I think he was
Quarterback for the
I think he was the
Lions.
number one draft pick
Yep.
overall or so.
I have a bunch of his cards.
And so there's been some other just baseball players that someone collected a bunch of that never became good.
Yeah, that's the stock nickname. You invest in this guy. You're like, oh, I hope he's going to be good. Nope, not Andre Ware.
And then my first card or so, one that I've kept also that since I was a kid, is an autographed Brett Favre card from his first year with the Packers. That would I think been 92 or 93 because he originally was a
Falcon, right?
Falcon. And then my last card, the last purchase I made actually yesterday, I bought a Chipper Jones rookie card graded PSA 10. Picked it up for $40, which the cost to get it graded is $20-$30 now.
Are you doing that too? Sending them off to get
Somewhat.
graded? Okay.
Yeah, it's a process.
That's a new
and then
thing
they've been
that I didn't do.
companies have been PSA has been shut down. The price has been jacked up across the board. That
Yep.
and
then I guess sending them out is taking longer and costing more.
yes, yeah. Before PSA shut down, they were a private company. Now they were publicly traded. They got bought by a private company, and then there's been some internal change there. They shut down intakes of new orders to catch up with their backlog, and they're projecting July to be back open to the public and see what that does. But there's some other companies coming about, and it's an interesting market. A lot of people have rekindled youthful carding.
Yeah.
It's gotten very expensive and hard to get product of new unopened packs into children and young collectors, and cost advantageous
I guess
too.
Target and Walmart used to sell them, and then people would line up at 6 a.m. and run to the card section, buy the whole case. But now one of them, Target and Walmart, said, we're not selling cards anymore. It's not worth it.
People would be camping out outside. People would be fighting. They implemented a 1 or 2
one case per person.
or box. Not even a case. The case holds 12 to 24, the little boxes. And
Gotcha. Okay.
so then people would buy out that inventory and then go resell it online. And the resale market was 3-4 times what, cost you $20 in the store. You're selling it for 60 to 100, which is.
You can get a $40,000 card or something. Someone said maybe 4,000. Maybe
Yeah, the chance in those ones is quite rare. retail's not going to have that. Yeah, you'd have to open $50,000 worth of cards to get one of those per se. But the rookies, I mean, basketball's been a big part of it. The Panini Prisms, and they've added a bit different than Topps back in the day. And
Man, I really dropped the ball. I wish I had this card, and you play the game where, like, you slide it down, covering the name, and you guess the random player. You ever see Darren Rovell do it?
no,
Yeah,
I'll look that one up.
look up Rovell. He does it, and he does it live. So he cracks a pack open, and you slide them where you just see the picture, and you're like, that's, Deion James or Eric Davis, random Jesse Barfield cards,
Yeah.
or, just random players. And, you're pretty good when you can.
You're seeing so many
Billy
of them.
Ripken, who knows?
Well, that Billy Ripken card's a popular one.
You have that one with the card with the
I do.
inappropriate word
Yeah,
on the
that's a
bottom?
fun one. And then there's a Randy Johnson rookie where they changed it, but the background of the stadium had a Marlboro ad. So that's actually like one of his rarer ones because they realized like, oh, kids are buying these cards. Marlboro.
Ooh.
I don't know when they changed it, but then they
blurred
changed
it out.
Coca-Cola.
It's
It's like because it was red, so they kept it red, and then they just changed like Marlboro to like Coca-Cola.
Oh, wow. See, I didn't know that one. That's cool. Yeah, errors were like a big thing. If he's holding the bat, his thumbs were wrong or something, or a word.
Yeah, spell some names wrong.
Yeah, errors were cool.
Still happens. Like there was some pictures. I forget who the basketball player was. They put the wrong guy. They switched their rookie cards.
Wrong name,
Yeah.
wrong guy. Oh, boy.
And that actually happened with Carlos Beltran, one of his rookie cards. They put some like Juan DeLone or something on it, Jose DeLone, and
Yeah, I was a catcher growing up. I'm a Yankee fan, but I had like 3 or 4 pages dedicated to Gary Carter, the kid. Just, he was cool, number 8, and then Darryl Strawberry when he played for the Yanks and the Mets. And
I think he had a Red Sox stint too.
did he? Come on. Andre Dawson, I had a lot of cards.
Although the only first one I think guy who played on all David Cohn, Yankees, Mets, Red Sox, had a little.
Oh, what's this guy's name? I have a picture with him too. Darren Bragg.
Yep.
He played for like 14 teams. Maybe not the Mets, but 14 teams. But he's a friend of a friend. Got a picture with him, which is pretty cool. And then back to that was one game. But you got best worst. How much is your signed Crosby, if you want to give or take?
So I've not gotten that one graded yet. Some of the graded ones sell around 5,000 or so. It would probably sell straight up as is $2,000.
Nice. Favre. How about
The
Favre one?
Favre is well child handled.
Oh yeah.
So it's fuzzy white corners in this. So that one really for me is just that like first card
Yeah.
or like one of the cards as a kid that.
Did you have the plastic, like you had the plastic where you slid it in? Then I had the plastic where you pressed it on and screwed it
The
in.
screw down
thick,
cases,
like
yeah.
it was like the Declaration of Independence. I have an Ozzie Smith rookie card in there, one of those. But the corners are beat. It's like, what's the point of putting in this hard plastic when the corners are practically rounded?
Yeah. Well, back then condition was big, but it wasn't what was as important. Grading
Yeah.
was not as popular as it is now.
Oh,
And
yeah,
so it
what
was
was-
bepreservation in ways.
Beckett.
Yeah.
You got the Beckett book.
The price guide, yeah, the guy's he's a doctor making up sports card pricing.
Is that what Beckett was, a doctor?
He's Dr. James Beckett, yeah. And I don't really know what it is. I mean, he got a doctorate in something. He's
That's
not
so
like
funny.
a surgical doctor, but
And then did you have starting lineups? The little.
the figurines.
Yeah. Yep. I had a
Yeah.
Deion Sanders, Michael Jordan. I still have a bunch too.
I got a bag in the attic. I was looking through them, like they're all
Still in
like
the
mostly
box
hockey
or not
ones
in the
now,
box?
like hockey ones that like I used to like have around as a kid. I remember football actually one time. Me and my brother, it was the Super Bowl, and we basically like made the starting lineups, or like we had them all set up as the game was going on of cards.
Nice.
Out as the Niners playing someone.
And moving them as they move too, like or no.
Like Montana passes to Rice. No, like
Yeah.
throw the
Throw
card.
the rice again and again.
Yeah, that's a rookie card I want to add. I got a Montana rookie. I want to get a Jerry Rice rookie.
That'd be nice.
Got a couple Henderson rookies. one of my more expensive cards is a Shaq rookie that's graded a 10. So that's a hold right now.
Yeah, I have a couple Shaqs. I have a Shaq jersey. I have a Shaq. I must have something. Blue chips. They made like a blue chips card set too. Simpson cards, blue chips, Looney Tunes.
One of my favorite Shaqs is pure 90s. He's in like neon, in a car. He's got the colored do-rag bandana on going, and he's on a car phone.
Oh,
like
massive, I'm sure.
Like, yeah, car phone with the cord into the car, just like sunglasses. I'll send a picture of it to you when I.
Zach Morris phone from Saved by the
Yeah.
Bell. I thought it was gonna be the one. He's got a cool one. He's sliding on his chest for the ball, and the camera's like right here, and he's like.
Griffey's got some good ones. The photography too. Looking at some of the older cards, Upper Deck did do well with photography for their baseball, football, basketball, hockey, but really baseball and basketball. I think you can see some of their photos the most. Where
Griffey with the hat backwards, love it. I had a Seattle Mariners hat, wore it backwards. The kid, gotta love that guy.
Yeah, remember what was that? Lids back in the mall. Yeah.
So we're gonna get a '94 NHL. Definitely gonna play a couple times, and then we're gonna try to get a tournament going.
Yeah,
that'll be fun. We could get a couple, maybe 2 or 3 Sega Genesis and the game.
Yeah, I mean, even doing something like that. Because I mean, places with projectors, or then just like using Anissa's place or something, in a couple of the different breakout rooms with the TVs in there, and then you can, like socialize, play in the rooms.
Anissa, episode 20, Anissa. We're coming to you for a 1994 Sega Genesis tournament.
We're going to have a video game tournament at the co-working establishment.
Yeah. It's going to be a great place. You have, she has screens, she has Wi-Fi, she has areas, a content lab. Maybe if people get angry and frustrated, they could close the door.
Yeah, we got to make our NFTs
and got some NFTs going.
Get some original music going, and you got everything.
I'm in.
Yeah.
I meant to ask you earlier, another game, top 3 things that you need to do or have as a characteristic or to do your job well. Insurance. If you were to teach a mentee, what are 3 things that a good insurance agent should have and do? I should have just asked it that way. Oh.
Yeah, so solving problems, I'd say, is one of the biggest parts of it, because you don't really use insurance until there's an issue. And so part of it is predictive outcomes, foreshadow, or seeing what could happen. So being able to see the bigger picture, and if this, then that. And if that was to happen, how would it affect your business or your livelihood? You get in an auto accident. Do I have enough coverage? Property damage, state minimum's $10,000 or $15,000. Well, most cars don't cost $15,000. So you hit a $40,000-$50,000 car and it's totaled, your property damage is 30-40 grand, whatever the depreciated price is. So you're coming out of pocket most likely on that.
So do you offer advice and suggestions in that part?
So that'd be part of the consultative review. Like, hey, what are my limits? We would make suggestions on why possibly higher limits. Uninsured motorist coverage. Connecticut has a very low doubling the fee or cost out of pocket for what you get. So if you have 100, 300, to go to 200, 600, or 250, 500, and go 500 to $1 million of limits.
Wow.
It's pennies on the dollars for what you would get. In that, and then it's
problem solving is a good one.
Yeah, and then it's different too of the sales side. You have to be a people person if you're front facing. Some people are very data analytical. They like to be at a desk, have tasks, and be task focused. So one of the great parts about the insurance industry is there's many places people can fit in. So it's kind of skill, not agnostic,
like
but
a forte kind of deal.
You can fit people into different parts that would be very successful. you can put people in situations that aren't going to make them successful because that's not their strength. So, I mean, I'd say personableness, I mean, having a drive too, and compassion. One thing that's really interesting, and we didn't get as much this past year, but people coming in the office that were clients of my grandparents, and the community side of it, I think, kind of resonates with that.
Yeah.
But people call you at time of need. Someone passed away, we need to remove them, or divorce even is a tough spot for people. And you don't know what that person's going through too. They might not disclose, I need to remove someone from policy, or someone passed away, they sold the house, we need to cancel the policy,
So
asking
compassion,
the why or this,
empathy, understanding. And that personal connection I could see too. That's a popular one. A lot of people say the top 3 personal. Problem solving, I like that one.
Yeah.
I could see that definitely happening.
Yeah, I mean, what's interesting, so actually today launched The Protege, which is a reality TV show that I'm in. It's a digital TV show, digital reality show. There's 11, I'm one of 11 contestants, and we had 7-8 challenges. So it's going to be 12 episodes, and it tracks kind of what we go through on the back end as insurance agents, putting together sales pipelines.
Is this an exclusive drop on Friends of Feeney? If Feeney
This
Talks with Friends?
This is an exclusive drop, yeah.
Let's go, Ryan.
So
What's a protege?
The Protege.
Protege.
Yeah.
And who's recording? Is it all self-recording?
So we would submit B-roll, set up a tripod on the phone, Zoom, Loom, I think it's called, where you can record your screen and
Yep.
talk into that.
There's 11 contestants, all are insurance
all across the country.
agents.
Yep. 6 coaches from across the country.
They give you challenges. Can
Yeah,
you talk
so-
about any challenges?
Somewhat. I mean, so the first one was with COVID. So this started back in November. I think October, submitted 70 plus people applied. You had to put together a video about what would you get out of the show? Why do you want to be on the show? Then they narrowed that down to 11. And the first challenge was, what industries has COVID impacted? And picking 3 of those industries where insurance has been impacted or comes into play. And then from there, you kind of define prospects and marketing strategies throughout the rest of the challenges.
Cool.
So
Do people vote for you?
in the end, so I can't disclose
We'll
much.
share the link, and we're going to get votes for you.
So of the 11, there's going to be a final 3. The final 3 will be announced in end of August. And then end of August, those 3 will go to San Antonio for an event that's an insurance conference, and do a live presentation pitch of saying, what did you learn, what you get out of it, and then it'll be community voting for the final 3.
Very cool.
So
That's awesome.
It
Well,
is.
Congrats for being a part of it, one of 11. West Hartford will be right behind you. We'll get some votes out for you. How do you think you're doing? Have you seen other people's videos? Or?
no, so literally today was just an intro video explaining the what about the show, what to expect, and introducing the coaches, and then the 11 contestants. So the next episode is going to be, we had a draft. So the coaches drafted us each 11, 1 through 11.
It's like a cooking show or a baking show, but insurance.
Yeah.
This is amazing.
Well, I mean, one
Is
of
this
the
a one of a
one of the
kind?
guys
Has
says,
it ever done this before?
yeah, first off, one of the guys said until $1 million listing, real estate wasn't cool. So,
Oh, there's a real estate show that does this too?
$1 million listing follows around realtors selling really nice houses.
How long has that been out?
A
Is that on
little while.
Netflix?
No, I think that's on Hallmark now.
Hulu? Hallmark?
No, $1 million
Bloomberg
listing's
TV?
Probably on Discovery.
Very cool.
Something like that.
Well, that's awesome. Yeah, no. Repo Man, Pawn Shops, Pickers, all these shows that were, not the coolest thing, but you have some charismatic characters, people will watch it, Are you wearing the mullet headband on video?
In my intro video, I do.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, well, I think that's probably what Jeff saw, because I was promoting that. That video's got almost 1,000 views, which should go past that now with it being released.
Can we share that video? Can we add it to the link of the podcast?
Yeah, I'll
All
send you the links.
Yeah, send me that link. We're going to put it on the link of the podcast.
Yeah, the Protege Show, Killing Commercial, is the host of it, and it's a sales training program geared towards middle market, large commercial accounts, and then the winner of it gets a lifetime membership to it. So it's kind of a mastermind networking group with other insurance professionals too, to say like, hey, I'm working on this account, or how would you guys approach this? So you get a nice support network.
Nice. That'll help bump up.
Yeah, with that,
Grandpa will be proud.
he would be.
Yeah.
I'm launching Connecticut Risk as well. So that's the first
Another
drop
drop.
here for you. The Protege stuff I've been promoting on social media. The Connecticut Risk I've not made public yet, but now with the show being launched, so that's kind of what my challenges will be about. I create Connecticut Risk through my challenges.
Is it risk an acronym for something, or what's that?
Insurance is risk.
Oh,
So risk
Gotcha.
management, you get into that more of the consultative versus number side of things.
So what is
and-
Connecticut Risk? Say you're talking to a second grader. Explain Connecticut Risk.
So as a business, you make money on selling whatever widgets. You have liabilities like your employees, the cars on the road if they get in a car accident. You have a lot of money invested in your building, and if something happens that might cost you money, insurance products are there to prevent your risk and limit how bad that could affect your business. So things that would help prevent your business from having to close.
All right. Does
as
Connecticut
well as-
Risk parallel Keating Agency, or is it something totally different?
It'll be supported by Keating Agency, so Keating Agency will be the insurance arm behind it.
Gotcha.
But it also gives the ability to market more risk management services, OSHA, getting into certain areas that some people pay consultative services to, bringing on partners that there could be revenue share opportunities through the Connecticut Risk platform.
Well, we're excited that you shared 2 exclusive drops, Connecticut Risk. Be on the lookout for that. We'll have a link on the podcast. And Protege, that's cool.
Yeah.
Reality TV star. Not only is he in commercials for Smash Avenue, this guy's a TV star. Ryan Keating, TV star.
Next, so next we got to go on the side of a bus, right?
Yes.
Put the photo out there, like Cartamaria.
Yeah, let's do it. Do you, business, life, and auto, can you share your clients? Is that public knowledge, or is that private? Like, do you have restaurants in the center or businesses in the center that you could share? Or
Yeah, I mean, so we're supportive of a lot of our clients too, especially some of the restaurant partners. Like during COVID, we were able to, you can't give money to clients in ways of how the legality works, but like say, so Toro Loco is one of our clients that's been growing, and they opened up in the beginning of COVID, and they have a location in Farmington right by UConn, and so they started.
is it the old wooden tap?
Yep.
Man, yeah.
So they started doing meals for healthcare workers, so we bought, some meals for them to donate a couple days.
Very cool.
We did that. Joe Pizza, a client up in Canton. Toro Loco just opened Toro Taberna in the old Park and Oak spot,
Oh, nice.
and they're opening up a third spot in
Parkville?
next to Whole Foods on Raymond Road.
Oh, wow.
And Craft Bird was doing the food donations as well. We have a pretty good client that they make pet food, Almost Pride. And they run a turkey drive, the old Miller Foods elements, we donate some turkeys. So they're giving it back to, clients supporting clients, like the Gastro
Yeah.
Park, being able to help them with their
Are they clients?
setup. Yep. Yeah, working with them through that process and, the
great
longevity
spot.
of the project. So,
Gastro Spot, episode 19.
yeah.
No, great place, and that's cool. You do have a wonderful legacy and a great positive connection with the community. So whatever you're doing at the Keating Agency, please keep it up. Maura.
Yep.
I said it right. Maura and Mike, thank you so much. You guys are. Would you consider them being a good friend?
Absolutely. I mean,
Right.
I'm grateful my dad is, he supports all of this as well. Like, so you actually get the picture of Jerry, who's my dad's best friend, wearing the Friends of Feeney shirt.
Jerry. This is
I like
be a
that,
good
actually.
teammate right here.
He's a basketball guy. He's like 6'4".
Oh, yeah. No, wonderful human being. Works his tail off. Hard worker.
I'll
Passes me
send
the
it down.
ball,
There you
too.
go. Nice.
Jerry. So I like
So-
guys that rebound and work really hard on defense so I could focus on offense. But Jerry, wonderful. And he sent this, out of the blue. Wonderful to see. He was hanging out with your dad.
Yep.
But Jerry, awesome guy. And he's rocking the hoodie. Be a good teammate. Be a good friend. And Jerry definitely is that. And he even mentioned we talk all the time. Actually, after that text, hey, miss you when you've been playing. We got to hang out. So Jerry's the man. And Keating Agency, 10 Arapahoe Road.
Yes, sir.
And it is 860-521-1420. And KeatingAgency.com.
Or check out the new website.
New website. Peter will ask you, hey, hello, how you doing?
Yeah,
Do you
well,
need
I mean,
anything?
the forms it's simpler. It drives better from a user experience too. Like, and a big part of that is going to be putting out more video content with it, like educational,
Nice.
minute and a half. I've been actually thinking to do a Ask Agent,
Ooh.
basically talk insurance to the dog.
I like it. Whatever works. You get a cute puppy out there. I mean, it's content and it's getting your word out there. And Instagram, again, is just pictures and a couple words.
Yeah.
And that dogs and food. That's what people look for. An agent is one good dog. Cute.
Yes.
He looks even better with his Be a Good Friend bandana.
Yeah.
Tough interview agent. He's passed out.
The white color, that won't stay white for long, but you should go green with the white lettering.
Ooh, all right. Deal. Next time.
Yeah.
Definitely. Well, do you know We Care Computers? Do you know
Avi,
Avi?
yeah.
Avi.
Actually, Avi might be a podcast that was never released.
Come on.
So we recorded when Jeff and I were doing the Experience We would stack like 4 or 5. And actually, we did release Dave, did we? Yeah.
We'll put that link in the thing.
Yeah,
We'll add Dave's link on
we
our
would
link.
stack guys. So we'd record them, and so I guess shutdown happened, March?
Yep.
So like in February, we ended up recording like 5 or 6, and then kind of the shutdown happened, and we already had some before that. And then Jeff moved to Fairfield, or kind of knew he was moving, and he kind of just was like, he made a decision of moving on from the Experience We Have that he put a lot of time into and building out, his new life. But I think we recorded Avi, and we recorded one other person that we did not end up releasing, that are lost in the Google Cloud drive space of Jeff's computer.
Avi, we owe you one. Well, listen, Avi, I'll have you on. We can share anything that you talked about with Ryan. We could share it again. No, but Jeff, you guys had an amazing program growing. I think I'm going to steal your idea, if you don't mind, and where you put, like, at minute 6, we talked about this. At minute 13, you talk about that.
Oh,
you
yeah,
felt
did
that worked? Or
Oh, absolutely. So one, I mean,
what's the pros and cons in doing that? Because I think we
well,
might
a lot of people
switch.
see, visual, like, I had so many people, you had so-and-so on your podcast or this, because you see the video, and I'm like, like, what you like about it? They're like, I didn't listen to it. And I was like, but then if you go and you click or
Like
saw
that
the
quick
article, then you
connection.
could be like, all right, intro this, or like if you tag sports cards at the 40-minute mark or whatever, like, well, I don't want to hear Ryan talk about insurance and this. Sports cards, that's cool.
All right.
So you might click, but it also helps if you go back to, like, so you listen through something and something might have stuck out that you wanted to re-listen to,
Yeah.
and you can know,
All right.
it was around that time too.
You're my first one. I think we're doing it. Is that all right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I don't know if I'll go back and do them all, but it's a new day. Michael Jordan of Insurance
The
is
Michael
here.
Yeah.
Episode 23. Ryan Keating. Any closing remarks? Anything you'd like to share?
Grateful for you inviting me on. It's nice to see the podcasting come full circle.
Yeah.
And I toy with bringing one back or not, but it's a lot of work too into them, and
Yeah. If you want to do it right and with the links and the
and then the setup like this too, and time.
Thankfully, I have Dave volunteers his time. Wonderful support
Yeah,
and equipment.
the production level of this is top notch. I mean, we can talk after when Dave's there, but like we were using a little sound, and it was nice. Ours was mobile, so we did ones in restaurants and people's stores, and that helped a lot too. I think definitely the in-person element versus the Zoom or that adds a lot. But there's good podcast networks out there, and you can get a wider reach depending on what your topic is. But for the localized community podcast, this is perfect.
It's very local, and it's all about our community.
Yeah, what's your next event coming up?
The celebrity bartending one is coming up. We don't know. It's going to be later in June when the cups come in. So you will be getting a call to come support. We might have a can drive at Gastro. Haven't talked to them. We just had a can drive. Yeah, we got to do something. So the celebrity bartending is coming up. So be on the lookout for celebrity bartending. You'll get a cup. You'll get some drinks. It all go to a good cause because we have some fundraisers needed. So awesome. Again, thank you so much for having me on at the Experience Weehaw. It helped get the word out for our Elmwood Makerspace event. And thank you for being a guest.
I thought it was great learning about what you do and how it started of you helping a student just out of the kindness of your heart. And then, like you said, the second year, the same thing happened.
Yep.
Having a student that lost a family member, a parent, and did it happen 3 years in a row, or their second one kind of?
So it was like 3 out of 4 years.
Yeah.
So, yeah. It was crazy. And it's been slowly growing, and who knows where it will go. But again, it's community people like you, Dave, and the people that we've had on in the past that are just looking to do right for our community. Yeah. And that's what it's all about. And this place has it, West Hartford has it with the heart, pride, loyalty. Yeah. So
awesome.
Again, shout out to Avi. Thank you for the shirt. Avi has given 10 laptops, 10 desktops. We got them to students in need that were struggling to get on remote learning. But Avi came through and made it happen. He has given mouse webcams, they're called mice. But just technology. Go see him. He's over by Bishop's Corner behind Crown Market. What's that street called? Do you know? Not Mohegan. On your way to Mohegan.
Troutbrook. Was that? Well, Troutbrook kind of runs down. I know where it is. So for North Main, you take a right. Asylum.
Yeah. But again, Avi, thank you so much. The West Hartford Chamber. And thank you so much, Dom at Cricket. Check out these pads. Thank you, Dave. Direct Line Media. And thank you, Ryan.
Yeah, thank
You're the man.